30 minutes of pure entertainment with musicians, writers, and actors to motivators, chefs, and even rappers to up and comers with the it factor. It's the Jazzy K Ward coming at ya. Have fun, some smiles, a few laughs. Tune in, chime in, sit back, relax. Have fun, some smiles, a few laughs.
Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Jazzy After Dark. I'm Jazzy K Ward, and welcome to the show. So whether you're at home in the car, but make sure you please be safe. Thank you so much for joining. Please go ahead and share the video. Start your watch parties. We're streaming live everywhere tonight. That's from YouTube to Twitch to Periscope to Twitter to Facebook, KWARD Radio Live page. And also tonight, I need you to join us at the after party. Yeah, over there, back there. On Instagram, only on Instagram, with #1 Billboard international recording artist Alex Parchment is my special guest tonight. So go ahead, pour you some wine, pour you some hot tea, all that jazz, right? So let me show you a snippet of Alex right here on Artist Talk. I don't know. I taught him a little bit of that. No, I'm just teasing. Everybody, again, let's give a lot of love. Let's give a lot of thumbs up. And let's welcome musician, producer, international recording artist, #1 Billboard charting artist, Mr. Alex Parchment. Let's welcome him to Jazzy After Dark. What's up, my brother?
Hey, what's going on, teacher?
What's going on, Alex? You know, I was watching the video and I was over here like grooving, and I mean, that's my jam.
Oh man, that is a great song. I grew up listening to that song. I love Kim, and I was so happy to be able to record that on the album. And it
Yeah.
always makes me feel good. It almost brings me to tears when I play it.
Yeah. I mean, that's just one of them. So I mean, I could have just pictured myself, and you did that virtually, but I mean, I could see you like in a nice little jazz spot or club, and you just right there, your significant other, whoever you with, and just
Mhm.
groove into that jam. But what made you choose that song? Is that like a favorite one of your songs you wanted to
Oh
do?
my goodness, it's been a favorite for a long time. I could just always think about sitting in the car listening to Kim sing that, and then I started playing it on trumpet when I first got into Howard around 2011, 2012. decided I wanted to just learn the melody and just figure it out. And so that song's been a part of my journey this whole entire time. I figured it would just be great to have that song on my album. My first album. Let's do something that's really near and dear to the heart. And there we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. But I mean, but if you think about it now, Alex, especially during the pandemic, we need great music. We need music for our mind, our body, and my soul. And that's what your music, I mean, it helps all of us,
Oh wow.
you know. And for all of those who are watching with us, wherever you are across the world, if you're new to Alex music, hey, and you're just discovering this, brother, shame on you. So go ahead and share those videos. Go ahead and share the videos. Also, if you have any questions or comments, just post them, and we'll do our best to try to get to those questions. Okay. But Alex, again, just switching back a little bit, with the pandemic and all. So, I mean, how have you been navigating through this entire process with everything's been shut down pretty much since March? So, how have you been doing, your family? How have you all been coping?
It's exactly been a process indeed. I've been fortunate and blessed to have been able to stay home and work from home.
Yeah.
And it's really a beautiful thing that I give private lessons in DC at this place called Harmonic Music Studios. And they've initially they just help sustain us and keep us going. And now
Yeah.
that we're back to teaching virtually, it's been a blessing to work with my students again. My family has been well. All my family for the most part is in New Jersey, and I'm
Enjoy.
down here in Maryland. And so, they've been really tight knit and working together, helping get my grandmother groceries when she needs it, and
Oh, that's
really working together. It's been
right.
tough, absolutely, but it's also been a time for reflection and growth and you know development. I took some time in taking trumpet lessons and really trying to just develop and use my time that I have wisely.
Okay. So, so was the trumpet like your first love instrument that you picked up?
I started at piano when I was a little kid. I got lessons for a short period of time. Like I'm talking maybe 5, and then I always loved the keyboard and started just learning things by ear.
Hmm.
And when I got into middle school, my mother made me go get an instrument, go in that band room and make something of yourself. And
Let's
initially,
give Mama a
absolutely,
lot of love for telling you to pick up an instrument. Hey,
yeah,
look
absolutely,
at you now.
right, absolutely. My mom, she really has been. I say in my bio, I have visionary parents, and I
Okay.
definitely believe that because they really had the foresight to
Okay.
allow me to, have options, and I really appreciate that. Now,
Yeah.
so I went into the band room, and I wanted to play saxophone. Of course, who doesn't want to
Okay.
play saxophone? You see that cool thing? It's like everybody wants to play drums or saxophone.
That's right.
Saxophone. They were all taken. Couldn't play saxophone. Drums. It was all filled up, and so the band director just looked at me and pulled out this little mouthpiece and said, "Hey man, try to make some noise on this trumpet mouthpiece." And I could, and he said, "Great, all right. See you in the beginning of next year." And that was my journey into starting to play trumpet. And of
Oh wow.
course, it wasn't what I wanted to do, so I hated it. I
Yeah.
didn't want to do it anymore. My mom let me quit. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm over it. Um,
Hmm.
emancipate me. But it just over time though, I started to fall in love with it. I'll never forget when I was in 8th grade. I had a band director, Miss O'Neill. I was just
Hmm.
practicing warming up on some scales, and she just pulled me aside and said, "Alex, you have a really, really nice tone,"
Hmm.
and that kind of really opened my mind to if I mean, up until 8th grade, I didn't really care about it. It was just something I had to do. And
Right.
so hearing that opened my mind to, wow, if I actually, put in some focus into it, put in the time and actually do this, I might actually be able to do something with this. And so around that time, I started looking at high schools, and my mother introduced me to this performing arts high school called Rosa Parks High School in Paterson, New
Right.
Jersey. And, you know, I got an opportunity to audition and got accepted. And the band director there, Mr. Kenny Davis, really worked with me and helped me develop myself, helped me develop the concept of being a, not just, playing the instrument, but being a musician and
Right.
being a band leader and a leader in itself. And I started my first band at the age of 15, going into my sophomore year of high school that summer, because I at first started going to a jazz camp called Jazz Connections, and then eventually started going to Jazz House Kids. That inspired me to take all the things I was learning and just start performing. Throw it out there. And so that's really kind of how it really got going. During that time, when I was in high school, I also met Jacob Webb, and at that time, he
Oh
was
yeah.
still getting his master's at William Patterson, which is like 5 minutes away from my high school. And
Hmm.
so um, we made a connection, and I heard him play for the first time. I said, "Hey, man, I don't know who you are, but I got this man." And we're in high school.
Right.
Well, why don't you come play with us, man? And he was so gracious, and he was so down for it, and it was beautiful, to perform with him, learn from him, watching him play,
Hmm.
and it really just opened my mind to the possibilities of music.
Right.
That,
Right. I mean,
sorry.
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Were you finished?
Oh no, I just wanted to say, and that is so crazy because watching my relationship with Jacob, that's my brother. We grew, he was there to help me and guide me, and now, he started Next Paradigm Records, and now we're making #1 Billboard songs. It's crazy.
Number one. Hey, you know what? I was like, wow, number one Billboard. And for all of those who I'm seeing all these messages that are anticipating, just like I want to hear this brother. I mean, if you haven't heard his songs, like his song, like I play all the time. And I'm like, I hope you don't get when I'm on my radio show, vibing in time, I play that song all the time.
And I truly appreciate
And I was like, I know Alex, like, okay, I do have another song now, but I appreciate, you know,
it.
I appreciate that. So I would love to hear. Could you play a little vibing in time for us?
Oh, absolutely. Uh,
Hey, so
messages.
everyone, as Alex gets prepared, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back with international recording artist Alex Parchment right after this.
Hey guys, this is JAZZIE K. Ward. You need to get your KWARD radio mask. And if you don't have one, shame on you. Well, you can still get them. They're only $15, $5 for shipping. Thank you so much for your support. I'll see you soon.
JAZZIE Caroling through the night, and this Christmas, very special Christmas for me and you and everybody else.
Hey, I'm just over here grooving to the Christmas music. Again, happy holidays, everyone. I'm JAZZIE K. Ward, your host for Artist Talk. A special guest tonight is number one Billboard international recording artist Alex Parchment. And he's going to play his slam and number one hit, Vibin' in Time. He's going to give you a lot of soul, a lot of funk, and a lot of hip hop. Are you all ready? So without further ado, Alex, we're ready for you, my brother. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, that was vibing in time, and I was over here vibing, getting my little groove on back over here virtually. Hey, what I need you guys to do right now is to go over to alexparchment.com and get the project. Download the song and all that jazz. It's right there. So see, you don't have no excuse. www.alexparchment.com. Vibing in time. So Alex, who wrote that song? Did you write that?
Oh no, that was written by Jacob Webb.
Oh, Jacob wrote that too. I mean,
He,
he's amazing.
he
Right?
really, really is, and he's been working really hard in this industry, and we can see his work. His record label Next Paradigm got ranked number 4 on Billboard this year,
Right.
and it's crazy because it's a new label. And you
He's a,
see all those other named titans in the industry, and then
mm-hmm.
Jacob is really making a name for himself, and I'm happy to be contributing to what he's doing. But yeah, we recorded the album
Okay.
already. Like we were ready, we were done, and then Jacob just said, "Hey man, I got something for you," and he was like, "I got a really good feeling about this," and
Right.
I had to stop everything, go back up to New Jersey, and we just recorded that song, and he just he had that feeling, he had his spidey sense tingling, and
Right.
we put out the promotion, we put it out, and it went all the way up to number 1. It's still crazy to me. I'm still
It,
astonished,
I
but it's
know.
just
I
beautiful and
mean,
it's a blessing. Thank you, God. It's crazy.
yes, that's such a blessing. So we owe that. Oh, don't forget, we owe all that to your mom and your dad for pushing you to the music, continuing your education, right? And people, if
Absolutely.
they don't know, you also went to Howard University.
Yes, sir. Howard
Yeah.
University.
What did you major in How? Did you
Music,
major in music?
music education. You
Music
know,
and
um,
education.
I also want to let you know I really appreciate my mother for instilling me the
Mhm.
love of teaching. She's an eighth grade English teacher, and
Okay.
so just knowing that you spend your life gathering so much information and learning from so many other people, it's a
Right.
shame not to try to find an avenue, at least to some degree, to pass information along to somebody else.
Yeah.
And so um, that's why I wanted to study music education,
Right.
and it's just a beautiful thing.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, it simply is amazing. So, and just shifting gears a little bit, when we talk about education and the importance, when you think about music and today, the way the music industry is, for someone who's watching this and some young man, young woman that see this and just say, hey, I want to get into this industry, don't know a lot about it. Do you think that foundation of having an education helped you in this industry?
Absolutely. It's funny. There's been a shift within the past maybe 30 so years where a lot of times before 30 years ago, the musicians that you found out playing out in the world didn't go to school for it. They didn't go to college and study it more. But, thanks to the efforts of so many great jazz musicians and educators, they made
Right.
a huge effort to put it into the schools. And so if you
Mhm.
really want to get a strong grasp of
Right.
the theory of what you're doing, it's one thing to be able to hear everything you're doing and reproduce it, but to really understand is the next level of it, and to be able to describe it. Getting an education in college would definitely help.
Right.
And you could also study music business and learn all the different aspects of how to approach and take your talent, which is technically a
Right.
product,
Right.
and market it and what to look out for and such. And so I highly recommend it. Definitely. What if you want to get into any type of industry, you always have to do the research. You always have to understand your clientele, your market base, understand who your audience will be, and
Right.
how can you make your product the best thing that you possibly can. And
Right.
so being diligent on your instrument, learning and studying the greats that came ahead of you,
Yeah.
not reinventing the wheel. It's already been done many times. Now you just have to
Mhm.
figure out how to take what's been provided for you on these records and in these books and make it your own.
That's right.
And so I live by that. When I first decided, I was going to go this route,
Right.
I started listening to Grover. I started listening to a bunch of different people to really kind of get an idea of the true essence of this music.
Right.
And, I grew up being a huge fan of Roy Hargrove, rest in peace, Roy,
Mhm.
um, and Miles Davis and Freddie Hubbard, and so many great trumpet players, and studying them, learning what they did, and all that really allowed for me to kind of figure out what I want to sound like and how I want to approach certain things.
Yeah.
And do I want to be more laid back at certain times? Do I want to be more dynamic? How do I build a solo that's going to speak to somebody? How do I just have a tone that is going to speak to somebody? How can I play a melody that's going to speak
Right.
to somebody? And so
That's
when
true.
you kind of, that's something that all musicians are still, dealing with all the time, and you're constantly developing it. That's why, like I told you, I'm still getting trumpet lessons myself because I want to get better. But
Right.
when you really focus on your craft and then also take the time to understand what you want to do with it and who you want to reach,
Right.
you could definitely make it happen. But just Roy, in my email, I always say Roy's quote: "Take care of the music, and it'll take care of you. The music's
That's
first."
true. That's true.
You know?
And Alex, I know you've worked with some legends like Patty Austin, Christian McBride, David Sanborn, Marion Meadows. Like,
Mhm.
Jesus. I mean, how was that experience working with those artists for you?
Oh man, being around musicians of that caliber, especially at the younger age, met most of them either in high school or college, either going through Jazz House Kids, the program that I
Hmm.
went through when I was in high school, based in Montclair, New Jersey, where Christian McBride and his wife Melissa Walker actually run it. And you know, my uncle Al Miller hooking up an event with me in Maryland where Marion Meadows was playing, and he got
Hmm.
me out there to go meet him and sit in with him and play a whole featured song. And just watching these musicians work at the caliber that they did or they do, um, really just let me understand that there's a level of focus and a level of intention that goes into everything, and also was almost as big as that is the person you are off the stage is hugely important as well, because people aren't just listening to your music, they're investing into you.
That's true.
And so who can I you know be, how can I come off to make sure that I'm being as well received as possible. Now I'm fortunate, I'm honestly just trying to be myself. I'm not trying to be superficial or anything. If hopefully if you listen to my music, the energy that you feel is the energy you'll get when you talk to me. But
Right.
being intentional about that, still mindful of that,
Hmm.
is really important. So just, you know, it takes a lot to work at the caliber of a Chris McBride, of a Marion Meadows, of a Jacob Webb, of a, so many great musicians, David Sanborn, of course. And so just being intentional, being thoughtful, and, you know, covering all your bases, I learned that from them.
Right. Which, I think that's so important that you brought up, Alex, is about you being an artist. Of course, people see you, but even off the stage, branding yourself, marketing yourself. And I think some people kind of miss that. They just think, oh, I'm this artist, but outside of the realm of that, with today with social media, it's like a camera is on us almost wherever we go.
Right. Right. And if it's not, if you don't have paparazzi, they expect you to post like you are your own paparazzi.
That's
You
right.
gotta keep feeding this, like the audience is like the big hungry monster. And you gotta keep feeding it with something. Keep feeding it with something so it doesn't either forget you or it doesn't swallow you up.
That's right. Because it will eat you up. I tell you, you'll
Absolutely.
be surprised. My mom always used to tell me, you never know who's watching.
Right.
So
My girlfriend tells
be
me that all
mindful.
the time.
Yeah, be careful. Well, hey guys, thank you for everyone. You're listening to Jazzy After Dark Artist Talk. My special guest tonight is #1 Billboard International Recording Artist Alex Parchment, and he's going to perform another song for us. Coming up is Last Night. Keep it locked right here on Artist Talk. We'll be right back. Mic check. Hey everybody, this is Jazzy K. Ward. I need your attention all around the world. Get ready for the power in the produce. It's a virtual 5K charity fun run. So I need you to grab a friend, grab your shoes, just grab everybody. We need your support for ABC2 Food Security Program. ABC2's goal is to increase access and understanding of the Community Feeding Program. For more information, please visit the following link. A better chance, a better community. Happy holidays. Hey guys, this is Jazzy K. Ward, and I'm so excited to tell you about this new show called Feature Fridays. It's about musicians, writers, actors, anybody that has that it factor, showcasing their new music, new projects, and you're going to have it right here with Jazzy K. Ward. I hope to see you there. Hey, so everybody, welcome back to the show, Artist Talk. I am Jazzy K. Ward. That's Jazzzie. Don't forget to hang out with us tonight. After this interview, me and Alex gonna hang out at the after party. It's over there somewhere. So make sure you go on IG and follow me, Jazzy K. Ward. Go over to Alex Parchment and also follow him on Instagram. But right now, Alex is going to perform another slamming song for us. It's simply titled Last Night. You want to tell us a little bit about the song, Alex?
Oh, of course. So I'm in the process of still writing it actually as we speak, but I just love it. I feel like it's a great vibe. It's just a concept of, say you had a great night, say you went out on a wonderful date, and this is just the energy of you reflecting on it, maybe talking to your friend or somebody about the experience that you had. And it was just a beautiful, wonderful experience. And it's just the vibe of that.
And this one is titled Last Night, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Parchment. When I tell you, Alex, you are bad, you are bad, you are B to the A to the D. I'm gonna put another D on it. You just bad.
Oh man, I truly appreciate that. Thank you.
I mean, that song last night, people can see me, but I was over here like stepping in the name of love. I was
Okay.
just over here, just grooving. I mean, that song is smooth. Like you have a nice, you have some ice in a glass, and you pour a drink over it, and it's just nice and smooth.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
yeah,
Really.
just just mellow. Was Jacob responsible also for last night?
Oh no, that's me. That one's me.
That's all.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
So, Alex, when you write music, and with all of us, we're mental, especially with mental illness, tremendously, I think even more on the rise.
Mhm.
But how does Alex, mind, body, and soul, take care of himself? Do you listen to your own music, meditate? So how do you take care of you?
Oh man, a couple ways. One, so I recently in this past year kind of fell in love with cooking.
Okay.
So I've been definitely exploring different options. It's funny. Kanye West said everything in the world is the same, and I have to agree. My process for cooking is almost the same process I have for writing a song. I
Mhm.
get to allow myself to be creative. I'm trying something new. There's some, being spontaneous. And I don't know if I ever cook the same thing the same way twice.
Right.
And, I just love that. Spending a lot of time practicing, a lot of time, just developing myself and trying to just become one with my instrument.
Right.
And a lot of time, Kamara and I have been binge watching a lot of shows.
But
um,
like, what's one of your
Definitely.
favorite TV shows?
Ooh, This Is Us for sure. That's up there. We caught up to the current season. What probably like, what 2 or 3 weeks. We just were watching it. Those episodes are like an hour long,
Right.
and it was really really a great show.
Yeah.
Highly recommended if you haven't checked it out yet. Also, some nostalgia. They're talking about going to Howard. There's a lot of
Mm.
musical things going on. It's a great show.
Right.
But
Yeah.
so binge watching shows, and honestly, a big one is just trying to keep family close.
Right.
Talking to family on the phone, FaceTiming. I FaceTime my dad all the time, talk to my mom all the time, and my grandmother,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
just being able to connect with them and understand that I'm not alone. We may all be secluded and such, but everybody's going through this, and so when you have your family to invest in and talk to and get some perspective, you're not
Right.
these four walls that you're encased in. They just kind of stretch out a little bit more. And so I'm really been appreciative because, talking to them really is the best way to navigate through this.
Right. Right. So if you couldn't do music, what else would you be doing?
Oh man, let's see. My dad's a doctor, and I probably would have, you know, been more interested in following that pathway if I didn't follow music. Um, I could also see myself, teaching something outside of music, like my mother.
Yeah.
Boy, my girlfriend thinks I should have been a chef. So maybe there's that.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of things. I even, when I was younger, I wanted to be a pastor.
Really?
Yeah, there's my grandfather, rest in peace, was an amazing man and instilled a lot of the teachings of the Bible into me. And you know, I was fascinated, and I always wanted to find a way, maybe to just, impart some of that message
Mhm.
onto other people. And I'm thinking I'm trying to do that through my music now.
Right.
But you know, it's funny.
Right.
It all would have been the same process for me, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because especially now, and I tell people a lot of times, especially like music is so healing. And even though when you think about, a lot of times we don't like to put people into a box. When I think about, your music, Alice, you give me soul, you give me hip hop, you give me funk, you give me jazz. And even though, a lot of my friends, ever since I can remember, my parents were like big music lovers,
Right.
jazz. So ever since I was, a little boy, I always loved jazz music. And a lot of my friends used to say, like, I mean, it has no words in it. But I think that's so powerful about
Right.
jazz music because your mind, you just imagine what you all do with the instrument, whether it's a trumpet, it's a saxophone, it's a drum, it's a clarinet. I mean, your music truly tells a story.
Thank you. And absolutely, I agree. And I feel that's very intentional.
Mhm.
Jazz, I love it because it's one of the art forms where you can bring all of your influences
Right.
from, I from listening to hip hop, if I wanted to, I can quote when I'm playing a song, Tribe Called Quest or Biggie. I can do, I can throw in a Michael Jackson line. I can throw in influences from Prince. I can throw in influences from James Brown. You know,
Right.
you can really bridge the gap in jazz. and just bring all of it together. And it's all about how it could work. And that's what I love about this genre of music is
Right.
that it's about emotions and connecting with people and telling your experience and your path. And if you're doing it right, every
Hmm.
aspect of your path is in it.
That's true.
Love that.
That's true. So let me ask you this, Alex. So, if with the pandemic and all that, right? So if I was to like get in your car, come by your house, what's your turn up? Who are you listening to? Like besides your jazz music? Anybody? Or it
Oh
could be
man.
jazz.
Well, of course it's jazz. I always listen to always listening to Roy Hargrove. He was, like I say, huge influence for me.
Oh, yeah.
um Mary and I, we just actually were watching Michael Jackson's live concert last night. I could listen to Michael all the time. I love Prince. um I can really get down to some D'Angelo. That's my
Oh,
man.
okay.
That's my man. Oh my goodness. And I love all different kinds of music. You'll hear me listening to um you know I can go anywhere from Lil Wayne. I love Jay-Z. Love old Kanye music. I
Yeah.
love Aretha Franklin, and Gladys Knight. I love so many different artists. But if you really want to get me right, put on some D'Angelo. I'll be
Them
grooving
did.
and singing all night.
Yeah. Want some of that frown? I can't sing,
Oh yeah,
but hey,
I mean,
you can't go wrong with D'Angelo, right?
go on, go on, brother.
So, are there any artists that you haven't worked with that you would like to work with?
Oh, everybody. Oh my goodness gracious! There's just so many artists to name. Uh, boy, see in this
I could
field.
hear you doing something with like the Kindred family. I could hear you with a little Geo Scott. I
Okay.
could
Oh
hear
yeah.
you.
Ooh, yeah. Making a song with
I
Jill
mean, I
Scott.
could hear you
I can
with
never be
anybody.
happy about that. That's yeah, she's phenomenal, and yeah, you give her anything to sing, she'll kill it. But I love the music is about collaboration. And I always
Right.
try to make sure that you know whatever I'm doing, it's not just my sole voice that's speaking. I'm always either if it's just an idea or a memory or somebody's actual input.
Right.
Collaboration is really important. It's ironic. Um, Yesterday, my friend Peter Roberts just released his EP out for his 30th birthday, and I was blessed enough to be on that.
Okay.
We did a song for Roy based on something Roy Hargrove would write, and it was a lot of fun. But I'm always trying to collaborate with people. I have my friend Joe Wilson, who he put out a project not too long ago. I'm on that, and you know, this music thing is way more than just playing an instrument. It's about making connections
Right.
and family. And anybody who wants to bring that energy to a recording, holla at
Mhm.
me.
I'll let you. So, Alex, how can we, for all those who are watching, how can we help support your music?
Oh man, of course you can stream it. I just appreciate y'all listening. And if you want, you can follow everything I'm doing on my website, alexparchment.com, or on my social media sites, all as Mr. Parchment,
Right.
MrParchment. Of course, if you want to buy music, we truly appreciate that. That's huge. I also have a lot of music coming up, and 2021 is going to be another great year. We're trying to go even harder this year
All right.
and really give some people something to remember. We set a bar, and my goal is just to keep going past it and keep going higher. And you know, the bar that was set is now the standard. So now we're going up.
Okay. So, Alex, and I know you're going to play a final song as we leave out, but I did want to ask you for, someone watching, this show tonight and the video, um, who wants to possibly be in this business. I'm sure this is not an easy business. You hear so many artists talk about the ups and downs, the challenges. Any advice that you can share that you've been given?
Hmm.
Any advice that you can share that you've been given that you could share with us?
Of course. Well, one, of course, like I said earlier, be as proficient as you can on whatever medium you choose to express yourself. For me, it's trumpet. For you, it's whatever you can. You be ready because at any time opportunity could strike and you will not be expecting the opportunity. Never expected a call from Jacob Webb saying, hey man, let's do this. Um, and now look where we are. Be ready, be flexible and open-minded.
That's good.
You don't want to get in your own way. And a lot of times, especially when you're, in this industry, you may have a concept of what you want to sound like and what you want to do, but be open and flexible and find a way to be you no matter what you're playing, what you're doing.
Right.
You know, I mean, if I'm going to try to sound like me, if I'm playing Beethoven or if I'm playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, or if I'm playing Happy
Yeah.
Birthday, you know. Now going into the business thing, you know, you want to always make the best product that you could. The recordings that you want to put out to radio, that you want to share with people, make sure you're proud of them. Detail is everything. You go through it with a fine tooth comb, make sure that you're playing your best, make sure that you're being as accurate and as, you know, just as the best you could possibly be. So when you put this out there, you're proud of it. Quality
Right.
goes a long way. And make sure you have the right people behind you that believe in your vision and know what you want to do to execute it. It's going to take a little bit of a team, but with the right people and the right support, you can definitely make something happen in this career or any field of art or whatever you want to do.
Right. I think that's awesome, Alex. So, I wish we had some more time, but we're gonna talk a little bit over at the after party. So go over there, over to IG, y'all, and we're gonna hang out there. So, Alex, so what's next coming up for you? I know with the pandemic, I'm not sure any more virtual concerts coming up, or what's next?
So we just released next part. I released our Christmas album, and I'm blessed to have a song. I did a rendition of Winter Wonderland on there. It's more of a straight ahead jazz piece, and I love that, being able to play some straight ahead because that's what I grew up in, and so that's a lot of fun. We have a single coming out in January, and I'm already working on the next album. Um, Ideally, we're looking at the summer to put that out, but I'm just we're always writing, always developing things, and so we'll definitely have another virtual concert in the future, but we're gearing up some hot music, another album. Expect another EP from me. Expect some more collaborations that are in the can, and like I said, we're coming out strong this year, and I hope you're along for the journey.
All right, brother. Well, please come back on Artist Talk anytime to talk about the new project coming out in 21. And I know you're going to leave us with another song. So everybody, thank you so much for joining me, Jazzie K. Ward, for another edition of Artist Talk. Happy holidays to everyone. Don't forget to go to my YouTube page, K Ward Radio, that button over there. Yeah, and hit subscribe. Also log onto the website, KWARDradio.com. I'm going to leave you in the good hands with Alex Parchment. Remember, take care of yourself and be kind to others. Good night. Alex, take it away, my brother.
All right. This next one I'm going to do is off of my EP, Pent Up Emotions, entitled Pent Up Emotions.
A live one-on-one conversation, 30 minutes of pure entertainment with musicians, writers, and actors to motivators, chefs, and even rappers to up-and-comings with the it factor. It's the Jazzie K Ward coming at ya.